Mitu Sen, N. Puspamala, N.H. Harsa, Orijit Sen, Paritosh Sen, Ravinder Reddy, Sarnath Banerjee, Siddharth Karawal, Surendra Nair, Thukral and Tagra, Vivek Vilashini, and Washwo X Washwo. So all of these have, made a lot of effort to put this show together. And now I would like to invite Shri Shiv Prasad Kheder, Director NGMA Mumbai, to welcome our guest on this auspicious occasion.
It's an honor and privilege for us at the National Gallery of Modern Art. On behalf of the Ministry of Culture, the esteemed members of the Advisory Committee, I once again welcome you all for the opening of this very interesting and humorous exhibition, Laughing in the Vernacular. I think during the informal discussion, someone was mentioning that, I think you were mentioning that, so it's interesting that NGMA is having such an exhibition. I said, this is one exhibition where every one of the advisory committee members unanimously approved that. I don't know why there was some kind of a confusion, or maybe whether it will be approved or not. But then, if you see, for the past couple of months, we've been having very interesting exhibition and quite unusual as well. This is one such exhibition. We also had a site-specific exhibition on deconstructed innings, a tribute to Sachin Tendulkar. It was specifically made for this wonderful site. My colleague has already briefed you about the exhibition, and I'm not going to stand before you and Meena ji, who is definitely going to take you on a curatorial walk, I hope. And it's a great honor that we have got outstanding support from the stakeholders here, from artists, everyone. And Ambalal ji, so kind of you to have graced this occasion. Geeta ji, I think you've done a fabulous job. I'm sure large number of artists and who will come here appreciate this. And please do go and tell all your friends to come again and have a look at this wonderful, wonderful exhibition. Again, on behalf of the National Gallery of Modern Art and my esteemed members of the committee, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite the director of the Sakshi Gallery. And Sakshi Gallery is well known to all of you and the audience of Mumbai and from India also. It is one of the premier galleries of India. It has over the last 30 years endeavored to develop a strong program working closely with important Indian and international artists as well as introducing many emerging ones. It has held exhibitions of Indian art all over the world and has introduced to the Indian audience work of illustrious international artists such as Al Anatsu, Grigori Crewdson, and Julian Opie. So now it's the Geeta Mehra who will speak about this show.
I'm actually not going to say much because I think I'm going to get into a coughing bout. But I'd like to thank Mr. Kenneth and his entire team who have been really very supportive and without whose help the show would not have happened. And of course, all the artists for so wholeheartedly participating and giving of their best. I'd also like to take this occasion to thank the support of my entire team, without who this really would not have happened. Thank you.
Now it's the time for the curator, who is the woman behind this show. Meena Vari is Dean Contemporary Art and Curatorial Practice and a School of Media, Arts and Sciences at Shri Institute of Science, Shri Institute of Art, Design and Technology. She coordinates activities of the Center for Experimental Media and Arts, CMA, and works closely with artists to develop the practice of experimental media and artists in Shri and outside. Since 2004, she has been curating an annual project called Shri Interim, wherein she invites contemporary artists from around the world. She has also collaborated with arts organizations such as Tete, UK, Kochi Binale Foundation, Center for Research in Sound Art Practice London, Transmedial Berlin, and more. Vari is currently interested in curatorial practice as a form of experience, cognition, and knowledge making. So now, Meena Vari will come to the stage.
Thank you, Shruti. Honorable guests and my dear friends, it's indeed a privilege to be standing here and introducing you to this wonderful exhibition, I must start by saying my thank yous, and I'll start to the NGMA for accepting the proposal, to the staff and to the director and staff of NGMA for coming forward to help us put this together. I have to thank Geeta Mehra and Team Sakshi Gallery for working tirelessly behind the scenes, for putting this together. And I must also thank all the galleries and the collectors for graciously lending us the works, and also the 24 artists who came forward to make this show a wonderful and a fantastic experience in itself. The title, subplots, Laughing in the Vernacular. I've been always curious and interested in the way how humor kind of weaves itself in our daily life. Now, subplots, it's actually a take from theater and literature, where the subplots becomes those threads that comes out from the main narratives. The main narratives kind of is around us, and the threads that comes out is what in those sub-acts or in those subplots that happens, where the comic or the humor is interjected, and where you can say things which you might not say openly. You might say things which you can slide it into the main frame. So that's what the artists in their works have been doing. Most of the artists here, you will find that that's what is happening in these works here. And the vernacular, now what is the vernacular? We are all surrounded by this whole thing of being in the parochial, in the now, in our native, into our origin. But at the same time, we are all connected with a vaster, a bigger frame, which is the global, the national, the international. All of them are weaving in between. And that's what the artists are looking at. It's not when we say the native, it's not the native which we are in. So for me, these kind of noises, the kind of the saturated images that comes in front of us all the time, we are all surrounded by these images, by these sounds, which might not happen 100 years ago, it might be a little less, but now we are like kind of surrounded by all this. How do the artists talk to us through that? And that's what's been an interest. I want everybody, your friends, you and your friends, to go out and tell everybody. It's a moment to just stand in front of some of these works and just ponder, to think what is going behind these works. And that was the whole intention of doing the show. And I hope I've been successful in some ways. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now I will invite senior artist, Mr. Amit Ambalal. And Amit Ambalal work has been exhibited widely across the world and is in the permanent collection of National Gallery of Modern Art, Lalit Kala Academy, Delhi, the British Museum, London, and the Victoria and Albert Museum, London. So it's now, his work, he is a self-taught painter, which is well known to everyone. From a prominent industrialist family in Ahmedabad, he was earlier a businessman before turning into a full-time painter in 1979. So now hear his own words. He is here with us. He is the chief guest of this show today. So welcome, Mr. Amit Ambalal.
I remember once I asked K.G. Subramanian, only a few months before he passed away, I asked him, Mani Sahib, when you are in front of the canvas and about to start painting, what is in your mind at that moment? So with a little mischief in his eyes, he said, "Main screw dhila kar deta hu." I think that is very important, because in this process, an artist undergoes various accidents, moments of magic, surprises. Even Tagore had the same process. And humor is also a product of the same process. It's very risky. It's like rope walking. It can turn into a caricature or an illustration. And on the whole, it is considered as a taboo for those who love high art. Now, The first show on humor was also organized by Geeta Mehra, Sakshi Gallery, in 1999. At that time, there were 4 painters, Bhupen Khakkar, Arpita Singh, Atul Dodia, and me. And on the opening, one senior artist of Bombay said, now this is also called art. So this is the position of humor. Surprisingly, all these 4 artists get along well with each other, share the same humor and gossip. Especially Bhupen. Bhupen would quite often come to my place to spend a day or two. And then he was an not alcoholic, but workaholic. So he would do sketching, writing, doing watercolors. And in the evening we had lots of humor and gossip. He would say, मैं तो तने आज 3 gossip कही, तैं तो अजी 2 ज कही छे. So there was also a kind of give and take. And on the next day, I would see that those gossips would filter in his writing as well as in his watercolors. Quite often he would say, chalo Praful ne bolao. Praful Shah, famous for his tapi collection. Atul ne bolao. And we had a nice time. Once he said on such occasion, ke Atul, tu આવી જા અમિત ને ત્યાં. Atul said, નહીં, મારો શો આવે છે અને મારે 2 ચિત્રો હજી બાકી છે. So Bhupen said કે તું રેમ્બ્રા છું, 2 ચિત્રો ઓછા થશે તો દુનિયાને કંઈ ફરક નથી પડવાનો. અને Atul would also have his own turn. When we quite often went to Nathadwara. We all liked moving in the streets of Nathadwara, having tea in those clay bateras, eat samosas. But Bhupen was always keen on sketching. So he would say, હું sketching કરવા જઉં છું, તમારે આવવું છે? Then Atul would say, કે તમે આટલા સ્કેચીસ કરો છો, પણ ફિગર કરતા આવડતું નથી. 2 પગ પોળા કરેલો માણસ હોય, હાથ આવા અડધી મુઠ્ઠી જેવા ખોલેલા હોય. But still he was not discouraged. He continued. And we would move in the temple complex. Suddenly we came across a painted tiger on the wall. It was the building, and on the corner it was painted. Half of the portion, front half was on one side, and the back portion was facing us, with the tail raised and all the details explicitly drawn. And we both felt કે હવે ભૂપેન આવશે તો એ સ્કેચ કરવા બેસવાનો જ. And it really happened so. That painting on that happening is here in the show, which is titled, I have titled it as Characteristics and Company. So this how this humor in life penetrated in the works. So I would say in the first show there were only 4 painters. In this show there are 24. So now it seems the epidemic is spreading. I congratulate NGMA, Ministry of Culture, and especially Geeta Mehra of Sakshi, and the curator, Meena ji, for taking this risk. Thank you.
Now I would invite Mr. G.J. D'Souza, Assistant Director, NGMA Mumbai, to give vote of thanks.
Good evening, friends. On behalf of Ministry of Culture, Government of India, I thank our Director, Shri S.M. Kennedy, Madam Brinda Miller, the Member Advisory Committee of NGMA, Shri Amit Ambalal ji, Senior Artist, Ms. Geeta Mehra, Sakshi Gallery, Ms. Meena Vari, Curator, and entire staff of NGMA Mumbai, and all the artists and guests without whose presence the exhibition could not have been successful. What I think is art is one of the best medium to convey one's feeling. And for this, we are inviting you for the curatorial walk on 9/12/2017 at 4 p.m. So Meena Vari ji will be guiding you as to what thoughts were behind the artist while taking the pictures and all. NGMA and Sakshi Gallery have arranged a light snacks and tea on the first floor. Do join us. Once again, I thank you all for making this program a grand success. With this, I conclude my vote of thanks. Thank you again.
Thanks is over. But I would request you to help move the exhibition to Delhi, NGMA, and Bangalore, NGMA.
I think there are, you're aware of the formalities. What you could actually send the proposal here. I can send it there, forward it to them, or you could even directly send it to them. That now that the exhibition has happened here, the advisory committee has already passed it. But then again, I mean, there's an independent advisory committee there as well. She knows about that. The same happens when some exhibition comes from there. It has to be cleared from our advisory committee as well. So we will send it, and hopefully, we'll recommend it, definitely. We'll recommend it. Thank you.